Have you ever felt demotivated, exhausted, with little hope of things improving? Because if you have, there's a good chance you've experienced burnout. I have myself, and today's guest, Anna Thiel, specializes in working with men to prevent that while helping them to build their empires. Anna, thank you very much for coming On.Point today.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's been a bit of a hectic day for me, so
Yes.
I appreciate you waiting for a few minutes outside and coming in.
Yeah, you did say, so I was gonna suggest if you'd like to do a quick breathing exercise.
Okay,
Okay, so
talk me
it's
through
just,
it.
yeah, it's just 5 seconds breathing in, holding it at the top, 5 seconds breathing out, holding it at the bottom, so we can do it together if you like.
Okay,
Okay, so you breathe in, hold it for 5 seconds, and breathe out again really slowly, like through a straw, 5 seconds. And then hold it again at the bottom, 5 seconds. Breathe in again for 5 seconds. Through your nose, hold it for 5 seconds. And breathe out through your mouth again for 5 seconds and hold it at the bottom again. Now you could go on with this for a few minutes, but I think we'll just continue talking. But I hope that it has already settled you just a
it
little
actually
bit
has.
more. Yeah. So if
So
you do that,
I actually do feel a bit more relaxed and actually more present.
yeah. Well, that's good. It's almost like breathing, just for you to remember, it's like breathing in a triangle. So you breathe in 5, hold it, then breathe out, and then hold it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say the main benefit of doing that exercise
is to just calm the nervous system. Because, you know, when we're running to and fro and we're just going through our days, especially as busy men, the nervous system is just always on. It's always tense. And this is something, any breathing exercise really, but this one is just a quick one for in between, will just help to calm the nervous system, which will then help you to focus, think clearer, talk easier, and just be more relaxed generally.
So this is something someone can do during any day,
Yes.
even if they've only got a few moments between meetings or
definitely
in the car or whatever it might be.
Definitely, yeah.
Thank you very much for doing that.
You're welcome.
Could you talk me through what led you to get involved in prevention, burnout prevention, and kind of maybe even explain what burnout is?
Yeah, sure. So I'm working specifically with men because I think, firstly, men are wonderful, and if they're not, then it's usually because they've had a bad experience. You know, none of us are, or nobody's really born an unpleasant person. So I think that's something to look at. And generally, I think, you know, it needs men and women, but there's a lot of stuff for women out there already, a lot of, you know, empowerment, a lot of programs, a lot of movement. And I feel like the men are kind of neglected and they're just out there fighting and doing their thing, but nobody's really seeing them and seeing what they're doing. So that's the reason why I've actually specifically went for men. And also, burnout does happen in men and women, but I think is almost within men, it seems almost like a medal of honor, or it's like the prize for success. And I don't think it has to be like that. And for me to just give a quick definition, my own definition of burnout, it's really just the body and the mind saying, that's it, like too much, like this is it, I'm out, too much for too long. I did listen to you, I did give you warning signs, you didn't listen, so now I'm taking for myself what I need, what you didn't give me. And it's kind of like a reset button and saying, okay, that's it. Like, we got to just.
And what can that lead to?
Take a break.
The body and mind says, I'm done. What does that look like sometimes?
Yeah, it can. I think one of the most common symptoms is just lack of energy, total lack of energy. If it's really bad, you're just not able to do anything. You can't get out of bed. It's almost like a combination of depression and anxiety. So you're just not able to get out of bed. You're not able to think straight. You're certainly not able to, you know, to take up work in the same way that you've done it maybe before the before the burnout, sorry. And yeah, you're just really not able to do anything. If it's really, really severe, you don't feel anything, you don't find joy in anything, you don't find joy in your work or in anything else around you. So it's actually something that's not really funny. If you've had it yourself, you know it, and I don't know the severity. And obviously you can get light ones and really bad ones, but sometimes if it's really bad, they can't, men cannot then continue, their companies cannot go back to their position in the company that they have and actually take on and continue their lives. They actually have to make real big changes.
Yes, I think for me, prior to coming to Dubai, there was a lot that I was involved in, a lot of responsibilities, a lot that I was achieving, and I think I wasn't listening to my body. I wasn't listening to my mind. I didn't think it was important. I thought it was just my goals that I set and the progress that I was making. That was like the number one priority. And I think being out here was when, I don't know, I just felt like I lost that drive completely.
Okay.
And even if you said to me, tell me something that you're passionate about, tell me something that you want to achieve, tell me what's next for you, I couldn't have answered. I just lost all. It's weird. It's even hard to explain. And I didn't feel like I was me.
Okay.
I felt like, don't know, it's like I was just an empty shell.
Almost like you're out of your body.
Out of my body. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I was like, could see myself.
You're detached.
But I was detached, and doesn't matter what anyone would have said, it wouldn't have changed, how I felt. That lack of anything. I don't, it's just, yeah. And I think I learned over time to give myself time. And there's certain things that I do that work for me. I'm not a professional. I've never had professional help, so I'm not sure if this is the right thing. But one of the things I love to do is wake up early.
For you.
Sunrise. I love watching the sunrise.
That's really good.
Sometimes I go kayaking, but I'll go out in the water and just stop still for a few minutes and just do nothing.
Brilliant.
Just do nothing, and I love it.
Yeah. And there's something about water, and then you have the stillness.
Yes.
The morning sun is really healthy also for the body, just not only for the soul, So that's really good. And if it works for you, then it's good. It's good. You don't need somebody to tell you, because we know innately a lot of times. Yeah. Yes.
So what kind of things do you do with other men who do come to you with burnout, or to prevent burnout? What kind of guidance or strategies do you put in place?
Well, there's a lot, obviously, but just to mention a few is starting with the bigger picture of holistic and value-driven goals. So if, for example, the premise is to expand the numbers by 20%, then I would also make sure that the time spent at home is, increased maybe by 20%.
Okay.
So that it's holistically, it's not just work, but it's also work and the home life.
Home life.
Yeah. Then time management wise, for example, I know we're all, blocking the times and Pomodoro and Eisenhower and whatever else they're called. We know them all. But really, a lot of times it's just work-related. And I just make sure that it's also, work, break. Actually have a break, and then in the break do all sorts of different things, whether it's mindfulness, whether it's breathing exercise, whether it's going for a walk, or Central Park, or maybe here through the mall, or just have a few minutes of doing nothing. This is a very big one, especially for men. That doing nothing, what do you mean doing nothing? That's like I can't do that.
Yeah.
So
how's that productive? How does that help?
Exactly.
But it is.
Exactly. And just generally, before we look at time management, I mean, you can get time management tricks or tips and tricks on LinkedIn, on every LinkedIn post, right? So what we do first is really go deeper and see, okay, what is time for you? How are you spending it? Why are you spending it on the things? So I go much, much deeper first, and then we allocate the time, and then we, go with the Pomodoro and all of that stuff. What else can we do? Deconstruction of perfectionism. That is something that I also get to experience a lot with men. I have to be perfect. I have to do this. I have to, all the pressure coming from outside, so on and so forth. So we look at that. Then making sure that the time blocking actually has self-care in it. Like I said already, a lot of journaling, a lot of also saying that, okay, if I go home at 7 or 8 from work, then I'm actually at home and I'm present. And I'm there with my family, my children. Leaving work behind. Even if you go and work later, still, when the kids are in bed or whatever. But just to have actual strict cut-off times where it's just, okay, this is what I did then, and this is what I'm doing now. And I'm actually present in the moment. I'm present at work, but then I'm also present at home, whatever the case may be. So a lot of presence work is what I focus on.
And this is stuff that someone should do once a week, once a month, or it's just daily?
Preferably daily.
Okay.
Preferably daily, but I try to not if somebody has had no touching point with those kind of things, obviously we start small, like a breathing exercise like the one that we've just done, or, just 10 minutes of writing stuff down, whatever comes to mind, or saying like, okay, what cutoff time can you do when you're at home and then actually be present? Is it an hour? Is it 3 hours? Start with small steps, but then increase over time.
So it's personalized to the individual that
Yes.
you're working with.
Yes.
Want to get your thoughts on work-life balance.
Mhm.
So I think sometimes we think it has to be in perfect harmony, and I guess that's the ideal situation. But are there times when maybe work does get a bit more, or there's times when family and your personal time gets a bit more attention? I mean, what's your thoughts on that kind of balance? Is it equal, or is it flexible? Is it moving?
Actually, I don't believe in balance.
Okay.
I believe that it should be called equilibrium because it's never exactly the same.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, depending on the time of the year, time of life, wherever. So it's more like an equilibrium that needs to, work together. Also, I find it rather sad that it's called work-life balance and not life, and work is part of life. But we're all, caught up in it, so we have to kind of deal with it. And I know, especially in the corporate world, you just have to deal with certain structures and ways that, things are done and are lived. So you have to find ways to make it work. So, and that's what I meant earlier on when you say, okay, work today, I can leave at this time, and then I have this that much time with the wife or the kids or whatever the case may be. Specifically family men, because I know myself, unfortunately, I've made the mistake to spend too much time at work and then missing a lot of my child's childhood. And I'd like to, help men especially to not have to make that mistake. So I focus a lot on family time and making sure that you actually get that equilibrium. It doesn't make sense if you spend time with your kids, but with your mind you're at work.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Really
So
be in the moment.
yeah. So
how do they do that though? How can someone be there with someone but still be focused on that interaction as opposed to, I've got this important meeting tomorrow, or how did that last pitch go?
Everything I do, I approach very holistically. So I go deep into a lot of subjects. Nobody's got 5 million things to do. We always think we do, but we don't actually. And since I'm working specifically with men, I go very much into, why do I think I have to work so hard? Why do I think I have to always be available for work? Why, is it that I need to be on call the whole time? I do know that, especially starting an own business, I know myself, I've had a few, you have to, put in a lot of time, and then maybe family falls back a little. So there is different times, but it cannot just be go, 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 go all the time. So it's really, because I work individually, it's really, depending on somebody's schedule and priorities. Also, we look at belief systems, we look at values, and then therefore look at priorities, and then based on that actually only start the time management. So there's like a lot of layers that come before. I can just give you a tool and say, okay, Monday to Friday, plan it like this, and you can do it, but it's just not gonna help you with that equilibrium. I mean, and really it's not gonna fulfill you in the long run anyways.
Okay, perfect. So sadly, we've ran out of time on this occasion. But mental health, I think, is a very important topic,
Yes.
especially, like you said, for men. I don't think have accepted that it's something we need to prioritize.
Yes.
So I definitely would like us to have further discussions on different areas. And there's a lot more that I can even share about mental health and experiences and that I've had, or members of my family have had. So thank you for coming on today, and definitely look forward to having you on in the future. And what I would even do is ask all the audience maybe to write in and provide suggestions on what they would like us to cover during the next talk. So yeah, thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you, Nathan.